we're going to get to the meat of the matter, and I am going to introduce Bon Trisha Baston herself, world-renowned makeup artist. You guys have heard me rave about her on my YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, she's all over my IG. I cut my nails because of her. Y'all know I love me some long nails. But she says it was a down and it just don't look cute. So Mama had to do her nails yesterday or today. So yeah, so without further, I'd like to introduce Bon Trisha Baston. She is the trainer for sandals across the world, so to get the face all right and cute and stuff. So guys, I present to you, I'm blushing, I can't believe I'm blushing, this is so weird. Bon Trisha Baston, y'all better clap.
You don't need to clap, they're good. They're good. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? No need to clap. We were having a little bit of a challenge this morning with the site. I think so many people try to log on and it crashed. Yep. So I don't know so far how many people were able to find us thus far. But I just want to say it's nice to be home. I am extremely exhausted. I stopped working yesterday, drove pretty much all into the night and got here late last night, and then we had to set up, and here I am this morning. So I officially have my game face on. So this is my game face. There is just so much to talk to you guys about. I have been getting a lot of requests on doing additional videos on YouTube. Now, I just want to make something very clear. I am not a blogger. I am an educator. So in order for me to give more information to you, I can't have anything speeding up. I can't have, I have to do things in real time, which in order for me to help, I was talking to my assistant yesterday, and I was saying that I would have to literally get everything filmed home in Vegas and just release things in segments. So pretty much I'll go over the entire thing about foundation, how to choose the right foundation, why you use this foundation versus the other. Then I will maybe move into contouring, which pretty much is going to be pretty detailed in the sense that I want you guys to understand why you are contouring, why you're doing the things that you do, and what is the result that you're looking for. I'm looking at little Miss Smurfette right here this morning. I call her Smurfette because she's so short and she just moves so fast, and I'm like, you know, they really need to take really need to take the ever-ready batteries out of her back. They really need to take the batteries out of her back so that she could slow down. Now, in the process of that, what we're really trying to do, I'll be able to help you guys more after I start getting the questions. So maybe what we need to do is start getting the questions early so that I can know exactly what to talk to you about. Now, one of my passion, and let me express the word passion. Passion is an uncontrollable, barely uncontrollable desire to do something. Now, if when you go to bed, all you can think about is makeup. When you wake up, all you can think about is makeup. When you're talking to someone, no matter what the subject is, it has a way of changing and turning into makeup. Then makeup is your passion. Now, did I wake up one day and say, oh my God, I want to be a makeup artist? The answer to that would be no. It pretty much just transitioned into that. I started out as a hairstylist. I started out in New York. I learned in New York, and then I was in the garment industry for a long time, lost a whole lot of money. I mean, we were left homeless, my husband, myself, and my 2 children. And I didn't want to have anything more to do with New York, so we moved to Maryland. It wasn't too far away, but stupid us thought Maryland was warm until we got there and it snowed. Then we realized Maryland wasn't as warm as we thought Maryland was going to be. So basically what I did, went into Maryland, from there went back to school. The moment I stepped into W Beauty College, again to get more hours because they required more hours in Maryland than they did in DC. Then it dawned on me that, you know what, things just had a way of just changing and transitioning from one thing into another. And then I started working more heavily into makeup, and then that's where the story just transitioned. That's where I met most of my students. At the time, that is when I met Lorenzo Vasquez. Oh, y'all know him as Rennie. I will forever call him Lorenzo. That is one of my students, taught him hair, taught him makeup. I have literally trained tens of thousands of people over the years. I am really what we call a hard ass. I am hard on my students because I feel that someone need to tell you the truth. You will always hear the truth from me. I don't go out intentionally to hurt your feelings, but I think there's honesty that is missing from the industry. There is absolutely no reason for us not to help each other because there's room enough out there for all of us. Everybody have their time and place. Sometimes it's just not your time. Sometimes you just need to wait your turn. Sometimes you just need to pay your dues. Sometimes you need to make sure that you're practicing. Makeup is a skill. And because it's a skill, you have to do it all the time to get better. But you need to know the right things to do, because when you do the wrong things over and over again, you're just doing a hot mess. It's called a hot mess. So what are one of my pet peeves? One of my pet peeves is contouring. Now, why is that so important? Because whenever someone sits in your chair and you're doing their makeup as an artist, your job is to let that person leave you better than they came. What do I mean by that? Once you touch them, once you grace them, you're supposed to have this person looking younger, softer. They're supposed to look better than when they sat in your chair. They're literally supposed to look like they're 20 years younger when you are done. This happens just first and foremost with your foundations. That is something that once I do any kind of video, I will go into detail with the different kinds of foundation, what they do, because what it comes to is preference. But see, over the years, I have learned to work smart and not hard. What does that mean? That means I am not recreating anything. I'm not trying to recreate a wheel. I'm not trying to do that. They have wheels out there already. They already have foundations that can match you. They already have product. See, I'm not big into product. I'm big into skill. Because irregardless of whatever product you use, you're supposed to be better once you are properly trained. When you're talking about eyes, are the eyes close set? Are the eyes inset? Are the eyes far set? Where are the eyes on the person, and what is your job as an artist in order to do it? Is the person's nose small? Are their nose large? What is your job as the artist? Now, this is the one thing that social media is awesome, because through social media, I'm meeting you. So it can't be a bad thing. Through social media, I met her. Can't be a bad thing. However, what happened is that I noticed a lot, because I started watching a lot of other people's work. And the number one problem when you watch their work, they have what we call this cookie cutter technique. What does that mean? That means it's almost like a stamp. You put the same thing on every single person, irregardless of their facial shape, irregardless of their age. You cannot put the same highlights on every single person. What is the main purpose and focus of highlighting? The main focus and purpose of highlighting is that irregardless of the person's facial shape, you're supposed to get an oval shape carved out with your highlights when you are done. So what does that mean? It means that if the person's face is square, you can't put this little highlight little thingy that I see them do all the time and put it right here. So if you highlight down here by the jawline, what are you inadvertently doing? Inadvertently, what you're doing is making the person's face look even squarer. Another thing, if the person have an oblong, which means their face is just elongated, it's longer, So it's longer here and longer there. What happens is if you take the highlights too far up in the forehead, what you're doing is that you're lengthening the person here. And then you have the unmitigated gall to then highlight their chin. So then what you're doing, you're making the chin even longer. So you have to realize highlights are intended for areas that you want to enhance and you want focus to be paid to. So whenever you highlight an area, you have to make sure that when you are done, an oval shape is what you produce as an artist. So you can't just go in and just put everything everywhere all the time. You have to make sure. So what's your number one thing? The number one thing that you're supposed to do first before you touch anybody's face, you need to go find out what are the facial shapes. You need to have them in front of you, and you as the artist, you need to draw an oval shape within that facial shape. I'm going to repeat that again. The number one thing to do to automatically start to be on your way to be a better artist is to go and find all the facial shapes. All of them. The round one, the square one, the oval, the oblong, the diamond, the heart, the pear shape. You need to find all of them. What you do is that then you get a pen or you get pencil or whatever. Take your kids' markers. I don't care if you put spit on your finger and put it in dirt. I don't care what you do. Make the oval shape out of each facial shape. When you make the oval shape out of each facial shape, as an artist, start to visualize the outer corners. Anything that's outside of the oval has to be what? Recede. Should recede. So it should be darker, or what you guys call contouring. So those are the areas that has to be darker right away. So that what you're doing, it's even like if any of you out there, if you're a hairstylist and a makeup artist, you know when you're styling hair, what is the goal? When you style hair, the goal is that when you're done, an oval shape should be shown after the hair is styled, because that is the optimum shape that you're trying to achieve as a hairstylist and as a makeup artist. So keeping all of this in mind, the first thing you should be doing is trying to search everywhere. Okay, let me find the facial shapes. Then what you do, you make an oval shape out of that. And once you make the oval shape out of that, is then everything else that is outside of that shape has to be darkened. Then why do you highlight under the eyes? You highlight under the eyes because instantly it will make the person look younger. Eyes, the lines are going up and away. So the moment you highlight, all of a sudden the person is starting looking at the person and you're looking away from the person. So just like right here, Simone is highlighted. So what the purpose is that when you look at her and you look away and up. So that automatically it's almost like a lever. So it's like you're lifting. So you're lifting in order to give the illusion that the person's eye is lifted. Then also that's the reason why after a woman becomes a certain age, you have to take the corners of the brows off. If you don't take the corners of the brows off, what happened is that the eyes follow lines. The lines on your brows are always the darkest color automatically on your face. So when you look at a person, you look them dead on in the center, and then your eyes start to follow their brow line. Wherever the brow ends, that's exactly where the eyes are going to park. It's almost like a parking lot. Anywhere that brows in, you park there and you start noticing, wait a minute, she ain't as young as she said she was. All of a sudden you start seeing all kind of lines, you see all kind of wrinkles and everything. So the reason why you take off the tips of the brows is that you can lift and give the illusion that the person is younger. The brows actually are the most instantaneous way to remove age from a woman's face. That's the #1 reason to do the brows. Now, I know everybody's gone a little brow crazy. The brows look like wings, you know, like let's fly away. You know, all of a sudden the brows are hard, but that's a whole tutorial on its own. Yeah. Talking about brows, that's a whole lesson on its own. Talking about highlighting, that's an entire lesson on its own. If you want to learn right, it can't be rushed. It can't speed it up. You can't fast forward. So this way you could go look at it over and over and over again. Now, is this going to be the optimum way for you to learn? Honestly, the answer is no. Why? Because until you could be in front of me, that I could look at what you're doing and critique what you're doing, tell you take it off, put it on, change this, change that. Because some of you are audio learners, but makeup artistry is a skill that requires you to do it. Some of you could catch on and survive, but if you really, 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 truly want to master your craft, you're going to have to take hands-on classes. Now you need to ask people the hard questions, but even more so than asking the hard questions, you need to take a good, hard look at their work. What do you do when you say you do something? Keep in mind that 99.9% of it is airbrushed, but even when they airbrush, most of the photographers don't even know how to airbrush out the nose being too long. Because if you highlight the nose all the way down to the tip of the nose when the nose is already long, you're just making the person's nose longer. So you guys need to start shopping smart. You need to look at people's work. Look at, whenever I come to them, what are you giving back? Can I reach you? Can I ask you a question? Do you answer the question? When I follow you, do you follow me back? Do you care what my progress is? Do you care that when I ask you questions, do you take time to answer them? I know a lot of you ask me stuff. It's not just you guys. I have people from all over the world asking me stuff. But you want to know something? Ever so often, I take a little time out and I sit down and I try to answer as many people as I can. What my job is to encourage and inspire. That's all it is, to encourage and inspire. You don't have to like me, but at the end of the day, you're going to respect me because my job is to make you better than you came. So if there are any questions yet that we can answer.
A lot of questions.
Question number 1.
Okay, so let's see the nice girl. Let's see. Once she said that my challenge is my face is lighter than my jaw / neckline. So when I get foundations, when they match my jawline / chin, and I find the foundation looks too red on my face to the point where I look like I'm wearing a red mask. This is my biggest frustration. So basically she wants to know how she should match her foundation because her jawline / neck is lighter than her face.
Her jawline is lighter. Her jawline is low. So where is the darkest place on her? Is it her neck?
Her face, it seems as if her face is the darkest because it says my challenge is my face is lighter than my jaw / neckline.
Okay, so what do? When your face is lighter than the other places, or her face is darker? Lighter or darker? Darker?
Darker.
Her face is darker. So if your face is darker, what your job still should be, you should still match your foundation to your jawline and your neck. The magic is, once you match the foundation to your jaw and to your jawline and your neck, what you then would do, you would then go in with 1 shade or a half a shade darker, and you just soften the hairline right here. So you would go in, but I would have to then see the shape of your face to tell you exactly where you should go and you should darken. So I'm going to give you a treat. My email address is buntricia@yahoo.com. So it's buntricia@yahoo.com. Take a photograph of your face, no makeup on, totally clean. I want to see all your secrets. Don't hide nothing. Don't put nothing on it. Just naked as the day you were born. I don't mean your titties and all that stuff. I said just your face. So what you're going to do, take a picture, email it to me, ask me that same question, and I'll be able to email back to you and tell you exactly where you should lighten, where you should darken, and how you could look fabulous. And better yet, I will tell you the right foundation to get so that it will work for you. Keeping in mind that a lot of you wear foundation without powder, and that's a no-no. Foundation that's not set with powder is going to come off halfway through the day, and more importantly, it's going to come off on your clothes. So you have to keep that in mind. What's the next question?
So Atia Lauren says, I have a very hard time doing my brows, and I would like tips on filling them in because I literally cannot get them right.
Okay, now the brows. Everything you do has to do with lines and direction. Now with the brows, very simply, it's almost like, can someone lend me a pen, a pencil, a brush, or something, just something real skinny and tall. That will do just fine. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Now, if you're having trouble filling in your brows, you have to remember that the brows are what frames your face. The brows are like a frame around a picture. It then allows you to focus on what is important, what is within. The reason why the brows are here, because your focal point all the time is right up in this area right here. Your brows should start. See, your brows should start, and Simone's better be this when I measure it, because she's going to be in a whole lot of trouble on camera with her brows in the wrong place. Now, she's hyperventilating. Now, I need my glasses, pretty as a picture, blind as a bat. Now, your brows should start right at the bridge of the nose, which is right here, straight up and down, that's 90 degrees. Or your brows could start 45 degrees from the inner corner of your eye, which is exactly where hers is. Yes. Your brow should end 45 degrees at the corner of your eye, which is exactly where hers is. And your brows could be the highest point of your brow should be, you could either do from the center of one side of your face, dead smack in the middle of the face, that should be the highest point of your brow, which is where hers is. Or it could be 45 degrees from the center of the pupil, which is exactly where hers is. So once you've accomplished that, then you start to fill them in. What I personally use, because I'm over 50, I use a brow pencil. A brow pencil has wax in it, so when you do it, it gives it a softer look. You could use a brow powder as well, but the brow powder, have a way of sometimes it comes off. So what I would recommend that you do, when you go in to do before you do your brows, you should make sure foundation is on your face, set it with powder, highlight under the brows with a lighter color, much lighter color, not white. I ain't said do white. I said lighter. Not lighter, not whiter, lighter. Okay, moving right along. So then what you're going to do, you're going to highlight underneath the brows, set it with powder. Then you're going to highlight above the brows. Now, why are you highlighting underneath the brows and above the brows? Because you're trying to create what we call isolation. Isolation is when you put something that's darker in between two colors that's lighter. Automatically, little lady, your brows are going to look darker right away because it's in between two lighter colors.
Without you filling them in.
Without you filling them in, they're going to look darker right away. So then when you look at them, then you just put in the additional that it needs. Maybe because you're trying to do brows and you ain't got nothing else on your face, then all of a sudden that's going to happen to you. So if you go ahead and make sure that you highlight underneath and highlight on top. Don't just leave a little white mark against there like, you know, like you're crazy. People might think you're crazy. Use the corner of your thumb, soften it down before you powder it, and I guarantee you it'll be fabulous. It will work. Just send me a message. Let me know if it worked. Should work every single time. I should send you the bill for that comment. Okay, next.
Okay, so Daniel Moses says, how do you build your clientele when you move to a foreign country with less than 6 months experience?
Wow. Okay. This is what you do. How long has he been doing makeup? He didn't say. But how do you build your clientele with less than 6 months experience and you move to somewhere else? It's called social media. Everybody watch from everywhere. Now, I shouldn't be the one to talk. I just got on social media 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago. Now, why only 4 weeks ago? Because I was so busy making money that I wasn't keeping up with you young folks.
Yeah.
Then I have an assistant that's really a pain in the ass. Her name is Paulette Brown. She'll pain in the ass in the morning. She'll pain in the ass at night. And she pain in the ass 24 hours a day. You need to get on social media. Last year I got on Facebook, and it's only been a year. 4 weeks ago I got on Instagram. Now, yesterday something kind of crazy happened to me, and then I was wondering, why am I on Instagram? Because when someone went on Instagram with my name, and what they did, they put Buntrisha, so they had me put my name twice, I guess because it's nice. Now they're turning me into a poet. They put my name twice, and then under their profile picture, they put my full legal name. Now that's some crazy, read my mind. Can't say it out loud, but you know what I'm talking about. Crazy. So what you do is that you find when you move to somewhere else, because a lot of people used to think my husband and I were wanted by the feds because we move so much. So when you move, what you do, this is what you do. You need to go find yourself a photographer in the area that you move to. Even if you didn't move and you want to be a makeup artist, find a photographer. There are a lot of them. Just like a lot of people want to be makeup artists, there's a lot of people who want to be photographers. Find them, have a partnership. What you then do, walk around to the local beauty salons. This is really the beast kind of advice here. Go to your local beauty salon. Find one that's busy. Don't find one that they're sitting down talking to each other, because that ain't going to help you. No. Don't sit there, they're doing each other's nails, doing each other's eyes. No. Find a beauty salon that's buzzing, busy. Find out if there's any makeup there. More than likely, there's none. What you do, you then go in and you then offer, look, I would love to come in and I'd like to rent a little spot. Ain't gonna be much. Maybe you're going on a Saturday or on a Friday. Then what you do is that you then offer to do everybody that's working in the beauty salons brows for free. Their brows, they cancel. Ooh, your brows look nice. Who did it? Him. Then what you do is then you start doing your little brow thing and you start doing your little lash thing. If you don't know how to do lash thing, you need to go learn some lash thing. If you don't know brow thing, go learn some brow thing. If you want to learn all of that, come to my conference and you'll learn and get certified doing it all at the same time.
Yes.
I'm just saying. But what do I know?
I told you.
Then what you do after that is then once you go in there, keep your mouth shut. Don't let the hair people know how much money you're really, really making. Because makeup people make more money than hair people. Shut your mouth. Keep quiet. Just do people and don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. And whatever you do, don't let your clients pay through the salon. You pay the salon, you let them pay you, not through the salon, because then the owner of the salon is going to keep up with your money. That's not a good idea. So that's how you build your clientele when you're new in an area. All you have to do is to go into beauty salons, go see a photographer, and most importantly, you guys need to learn something about a contract.
Yeah.
When you go to deal with these photographers, make sure the release statement is yours, that he gives you permission or the model to use the images to promote yourself. Don't use his, because if you use his release, the release belongs to him, not to you. Then what you're doing, anything you do, put things down on paper and pen. Use paper and get pen, have contracts. You have to do that all the time. Next question.
Okay, so Bridget Whitting wants to know, how do you choose your color for your clients? Do you let them choose the look or do you choose it for them?
Okay, you have to let people think you're giving them what they want.
Yeah.
We all know, they really don't know. So what you do, you have to let them think that you're giving them what they're asking for. So when someone sits in your chair, you cannot give your client the color that is your favorite color. You have to give the client what is in the best interest of the client. Like if the lady has insect eyes, if y'all don't stop putting these things, I swear. If the lady have insect eyes, what you're gonna have to do, or if you're moving the boxes, you need to pick the boxes up and just put it instead of pushing them, because I can hear them. Now, if the lady have insect eyes, you know you can't use real dark colors on her eyes because it's gonna push her eyes into a deeper hole. So what the colors you choose for your client is dependent upon the lady's eye shape and the type of eyes that she have. So if her eyes are inset, no matter how much she tell you she wants smoky, smoky is only going to make her look like she's 2 seconds from a grave. So keep in mind that what she needs might not be what she wants. So it is customized based upon the person's need, not based upon what she tells you. Like I had a bride, I was doing training at Sandals, I think it was it day before yesterday? And there was a bride that came in. She says, I don't wear makeup. I just want a little foundation. I want nothing on my lips because I don't usually wear anything on my lips. And I want smoky eyes. And I'm like, Lord, have mercy. This is a disaster waiting to happen. First thing she said, I don't wear makeup. So someone who don't wear makeup, what's the last thing you should put on them?
Makeup.
Smoky eyes. So you have to realize, ask her what is her interpretation of smoky. Because smoky for her and smoky for you are two different things. I didn't give her a smoky eye because, first of all, she had a little insy-tinsy-wincy, teeny tiny eye. So if I put smoky on it, her eyes were going to disappear. And so what I did was I gave her just a little little something here, something there, and most of it was pretty much nude. And she said, this is exactly what I'm talking about, this smoky look.
Girl.
It was a smoky. But her interpretation and yours are different. So when you have a client and your client is asking for stuff, you need to then be secure within your own skill to know that, okay, this is what you're asking for, but I don't think that what you're asking for is the absolute best thing. Show her what you're talking about, and sometimes she will listen.
Okay, so Sadine Diva wants to know, what are your best tips and techniques for large pores, oily skin? Girl, hooded eyes, and large noses. Girl,
how many questions do you want to ask?
Like, really?
Hooded, you want about eyes, cheeks, lips, pores, want me to tell the best dress to wear. But choose one.
Okay, so large pores, because not many of us, even though we buy like the pore minimizing primers and stuff, it never seems to work.
Okay, now the reason why your primers are not working, it has to do with how you apply your primers. First of all, you should not do all of this fancy moving real fast stuff that you see people doing. You need to use your primer, not with your fingers, because the purpose of a primer is to mattify or to lay the sebaceous or your oil gland dormant for several hours. So first of all, you can't never put on primer with your fingers. Next thing, whenever you're using a primer, in order to minimize large pores, you're supposed to use the side of your brush. So what you do, you pick up the primer on one side of your brush, and then what you do, you apply it, shorten upon your brushes and apply. So it's almost like you're applying a little pressure. It's almost like you're spackling a wall. So what you do when you do that and you lay the primer, what happens is that the primer becomes a rich filler, and it fills in the larger pores and it fills in all the lines. And if you put your primer on at the same time with your foundation, it fills in the pores even more.
I should be getting paid for this right here. Okay, so Natty Cool wants to know, how do you prevent foundation from settling into laugh lines?
Which ones? Okay, now, again, we're going to go back to what works. Primer and foundation at the same time. Now, are we talking about a powder? Because a lot of times people use a powder, and powder for her, she's all but 2 years old, alone works. I'm 53 years old. Powder alone, I look like I'm 2 steps out. I have 1 foot on a banana peel and 1 foot in the grave. I have to layer. So how do you get foundation from not settling the laugh lines? You're not using the right foundation and you're not doing the right technique. First of all, your foundation should be used with your primer at the same time. It should go downward, shorten up, press, and you're placing your foundation a nice, even, heavy strokes. So you're actually applying a little bit of pressure. I didn't say take the lady's skin off. I said apply a little pressure, and then what you do, you find you're spackling as you go, so you're filling it in. Then what you do, you take the powder and you take the side of the brush and you press and you place. So when you press and you place, you're actually even using the powder to set the foundation, but you're also using it to fill in all of the other pores. You won't worry about laugh lines, because once you use a primer, the primer is like a rich filler, so the primer actually make it give the illusion that the face is more plump when it is not. Another thing to do too, depending on how severe the laugh line is, you might want to put a lighter foundation or a highlighter in where the laugh line is, so it will give the illusion that it's filled, and then you set it with a powder.
Okay, so Monique Taylor wants to know, as an aspiring makeup artist, how do we make it happen? I have a degree in graphic design, but I so want my makeup, my livelihood.
Okay, now if you want makeup to be what you do for a living, do you wear makeup every single day? I mean, every time you leave your house? If the answer is yes, How does your makeup look? Do you look like you work at one of them makeup stores where they have on 27,000 different colors on their eyes, and you have these hard lines for your contour all up and down your nose? Do you have the little white shiny thing going in the corner of your eye? Because this is what the reality of it is, guys. And let's stop joking for a moment, get real serious. The reality of this is the person that you're going to make your money from, 99% of all your dollars is going to come from who? The average lady that you know. She has to look at you, and your makeup has to be beautiful. So if you over exaggerate your makeup, wear too much, wear too heavy, don't highlight in the right places, your contours are too hard. See, the whole idea of you doing this highlighting, every time I put makeup on when I leave my house, I highlight and low light. I have lightness and darkness every single time. But there's a real fine line that you walk to make it. If you're going to take a picture, it doesn't matter. But if you're doing it that regular people with regular eyes are going to look at you, you have to be pleasing to the eye. So they have to look at you and see that you're beautiful. The only person that should know that you have highlights on is another makeup artist. The average person should not look at you and tell that you contoured anywhere. Only a makeup artist should look at you and say, you know what, I can see where it's lighter, I can see where it's darker. The average person is supposed to just look at you and say that you're pretty. So for me to advise you on how to move forward, I have to first see how your work looks. So again, I'm going to give you my email address. It's buntricia@yahoo. Send me your photograph of what you look like when you put your makeup on every single day. Don't now, because I asked, go do nothing special. Just do it exactly the way you do it all the time. Because people do business with people that they like. It has nothing. Success has to do with people liking you. It's not about your skill set. Because some of the worst makeup artists and the worst hairstylists in the world got a whole lot of clients. I see them every single day. But if people like you, they will do business with you. So sometimes I have to do a little bit of an attitude. You know, are you a diva? I'm just saying. But what do I know? Send me your picture, made up. I'll take a look, and I'll be kind. I will tell you honestly what you should change, if you should change anything. Sometimes if your makeup is flawless, then maybe we're going to have to do a little bit of attitude adjustment. If people liking you or not. If people like you, they don't care. They will do business with you every single time. It's like the price is never too high with the buyer, it's too high with the seller. So that is something for you to really, really take a look at. Trust me, I know about attitude. I've been fired from every job I've ever had in my life until it dawned on me that I need to work for myself. And it's not because I wasn't good. I had this ego thing going, or attitude. As I got older and I really sat back and think about it, what was the common denominator between me and all my bosses? And the common denominator, or the one thing that was in common with every single story? Me. So I had to make the adjustments. And once I made the adjustments, I was able to move forward. Next question.
Okay, so Noel Anderson wants to know, what tips do you have for people that sweat a lot? How to keep the makeup from running?
Oh, that word running and makeup don't even sound good together. That sounds like a hot mess. Now, how do you keep from someone who perspires a lot? Let me tell you, Paulette Brown, my absolute fabulous assistant, she is menopausal. But then so am I. So imagine the two of us, I don't know who's having a hot flash. If she's having a hot flash on me. I was doing the makeup at the LA makeup show in LA. I said, Paulette, you having a hot flash? She said, no, I'm not. It's you. So we're masters of keeping on makeup and make sure makeup don't run. It's technique. The first thing, it's not just technique, it's also product. You have to use the right foundation. First of all, face has to be cleansed. Toner, moisturizer. Make sure the moisturizer you're using is oil-free during the day. When you use an oil-free moisturizer, that cuts down on the oil. You should use a primer. You should never, ever, ever, ever use your fingers on your face, because once body temperature touches you, what you're doing, you're raising your own body temperature. When you start moving your fingers and rubbing, it's called friction. So then what you're doing, you're activating your oil gland. So first of all, you should never ever touch your face with your fingers. You should always use a brush. So the brush will always stay, it's not a person, so the brush can't warm up. So you always use a brush. Then you make sure you use the right products. You make sure that the foundation that you're using, the foundation is matte, no shine. Then on top of it, 100% of the time, you must set your foundation with a powder. That's a mistake most people make. I don't want all of that on my face. It kind of clogged my pores. When we see you, we know you don't put a lot because your face don't look its optimum best. So what you're going to do, you're going to make sure that you use a foundation, and you have to set your foundation with a powder. I would strongly recommend, because you seem to reek oil, you should use a translucent loose powder instead of a pressed powder. A pressed powder have binders in it, so what it does, it has a way of kind of looking chalky, and it makes it look like you have more makeup than you really do. So a translucent loose powder and a foundation that's a matte. And that's what I would recommend. If you have a problem with slicking and running and shining, stay away from HD. HD leaves a glow to the skin, and after a while you can't tell what's glow and what's oil. So use a cream foundation that has a total matte finish, and that should be able to make a difference.
Okay. So Trinity Rogers wants to know, I want to know, why does my face powder look light on your skin once applies? I want to know, why does face powder look light on your skin once applies?
Okay.
The binder.
I know what. You just said it. Is your powder a pressed powder? Your powders having binders. What are binders? Binders, every powder starts out loose. Every single solitary powder starts out loose. But what happened, binders are put in the powder to take the powder from loose powder to pressed powder. It's almost, those of you who cook, it's almost like using cornstarch to make your gravy thick faster, or you use a flour paste, mixing flour and water to thicken up the gravy. So what happened, that because it binds things and keep it together, it has a residue or a whitish looking film to it. So how can you prevent that? Then you also have to check if the powder has sunscreen. Sunscreen is titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is topical, so it always, to protect the skin against the sun, it always gives that film onto the skin, and that's how it blocks the sun from the pores. So you have to make sure that you don't use a powder with sunscreen in it. So that is another reason why it's becoming whiter. And because the powder is pressed. Now, if you want to make sure that doesn't happen, because it's a pressed powder, sometimes go one shade or a half a shade darker, and you find that that will make a difference. So maybe you just need to, you're just not as light as you think you are. You think? Maybe you need to buy the powder that's really your color. But all pressed powders have binders, so irregardless of the color, I was just joking before, irregardless of the color, you're going to get residue to the skin. So because of this, you have to just make sure that sometimes in your case, you might want to use a loose powder. It's more messy, but what you do, put on your makeup at home with your loose powder and carry your pressed powder in your purse for touch-ups. That's what I would recommend to do.
Okay, so 23-2Cute4 says, can you elaborate on the picture release clause for the use of photography of your makeup? Because that is an issue I'm having right now.
Okay, this is what you do. If you're coming to the conference in Jamaica, or you're coming to the conference in Vegas, or even if you're not coming to the conference at all, you can email me. My sister is a contracts lawyer. This is my pit bull, my watchdog. This is my Olivia Pope from Scandal. She dots I's, cross T's. She leaves nothing uncovered. If you ever sign a contract with me, I'm not trying to cheat you because it's only a contract if both people gain. But know this, that you're contracted by me. My sister is going to be at the conference in Jamaica, and she's going to be at the conference in Vegas, and she's going to do 2 hours of contracts. What does that mean? Your contracts for your brides. She's going to show you how to write them, what you should put in there, how you should put in your limited liability clause in your contracts. She will also show you how to do a contract between what we call a joint venture. A joint venture is when you hook up with the photographer and a model, and all of you doing something, nobody getting paid, but then all of you are supposed to be able to use the work once you do it. Now, if it's what gone by the morning, can't come with the evening. So, what does that mean? If you already went and did something, maybe we need to just walk away from that one, but approach everything else knowing. So if you're going to come to the conference, we're going to be able to teach you how to do contracts, what you should put in your contracts. Better yet, she has contracts that she could give you where you could customize, put in the name, your name, the dates, and you'll be good to go. So we are totally prepared and ready for you. We don't just teach makeup, we teach business. So when you come to the conference, either May 18th through the 20th at the Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, Jamaica, or if you come to the conference in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, the hotel is included. We're going to have contracts law at both of them. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. But by the time we're done with you, you're ready to go.
Okay. This is the last question. Chantal Lovell says, what is the best face primer to use for oily, and dry skin?
Well, a real awesome face primer that I use all the time. Sharon Wint from Face Forward, Black Cosmetics, has it. When you use that one, it has a little bit of silicone in it. Actually, when I do makeup, I don't use a lip and an eye primer, because when I put my foundation on, I put foundation on the skin before I do eye colors, because your foundation is also supposed to neutralize the unwanted color on the lids and on the lips. So I don't use all that other stuff. I just use a face primer. And the face primer that I use has a little bit of silicone. Now, the face primer comes in 2 colors. It either comes clear or it comes tinted. For women of color, I prefer to use the tinted one, because then it doesn't leave, because anything that is supposed to mattify, it leaves with a white residue. So what happens, you can't see it, but the camera will pick it up. The camera will see the white residue right along the hairline over here. So that is something to keep in mind. I know we started a little late because we were having issues. Yeah. So are we over time, or do we have time for one more question?
We have time for one more question.
One more question.
Well, the last one I have here is from Chantel Lowe, so I kind of have to wait for the other one. But we're having a special, right, Auntie? We're
having a special announcement. You can start.
Oh, so for those of you who joined today for this webinar with I call her Auntie Bontricia. I can't call her Bontricia, to me it seems rude. But with Auntie Bontricia, we have I think it's $100 off for the sign up for the conference from May 18th to the 20th. So if you're here right now, is the link ready yet? So the link is on the Facebook, on my website. Okay, so the link is. Oh yes, so oh gosh, she told me before I know. So go to lyricalchester.com/special offer. So open the next window, you can still hear our nice voices. lyricalchester.com/special offer. Go there, sign up right now. You get $100 off. So instead of spending,
it's $100 US off. Yeah. You also, if you're coming to the conference in Vegas, even though we're including the hotel in the conference, for this we're doing a special offer, and we're offering $100 US off as well.
Oh, so for both Jamaica and Vegas. So it's both
Jamaica and Vegas. And of course, for those who register right away and pay your deposit in the next, 3 hours?
3 hours? 3
hours. Your name will be entered in a raffle. The raffle, what you're getting. You'll be getting the foundation that we're talking about that I use all the time on everybody, everywhere that I go. That foundation will be giving you a palette of 6 shades. So you will have, you'll have light shades and dark shades. We really have like 22 shades, but then we're giving away a palette of 6 shades. Then what we're doing, I'm giving away a master set of 30 brushes along with the brush belt. The price on that is like, she ain't know nothing about that.
Jeez.
You know, as I sat here, I made it up. But if I say it, I am going to have to do it. So it will be a master set of 30 brushes along with the brush belt. And we're also giving away something else. I think it's some airbrush machine. An airbrush machine we're giving away as well. And then I might
some other stuff.
I might throw some other stuff in there as well. Also, keeping in mind that in Vegas and also in Jamaica, we're having a makeup competition at the conference. What is that? There'll be 4 winners. There'll be first, second, third, and fourth place. The first place winner, if you're in Jamaica and win and you can get the visa to come, you get an all-expense paid trip to the conference in Vegas for next year. Yes. So you get airfare, hotel, and the whole 9 yards. Get to come to the conference next year. Now, if you can't get a visa to come, I'll give you $1,000 US. Now, for the people in Vegas, what you will win if you get first place in the competition is that you get to come to one of my 3-day master boot camp classes that I keep at my house. I only take 10 people coming from all over the world. I'm only able to teach just 1 or 2 classes a year. The value of that class is $5,000 US. So you get to come. Now, if the person in Jamaica who win can get the visa, you can come as well. So it's either you come to the conference or you come to the class. The choice is yours. So there's a whole lot going on. Plus, we have a formal event at the conference. We'll be doing all dress up. You wear your tight push-up, snazzy stuff. Wear your high heels. Do your stuff. Pull things in. Push things out. Let the girls breathe. Do what you have to do. We'll be having that also at both conferences. So we're going to be having it photographed, professionally photographed. We're going to have a red carpet with a step and repeat, and we're also going to have it filmed. So of course everybody, because y'all know about legal stuff, everybody going to have to sign a release, because you know when you blow up, I don't want you to say that you know I didn't give you no permission to use my picture. I want my money. So what we're going to do is that we're going to keep everything straight. We're going to keep it fun, and there's so much to learn. So I would strongly advise you, the best way to then be able to hashtag Buntricia Trained is to actually come and let Buntricia train too.
I'm so excited.
Otherwise, you can hashtag Buntricia Inspired.
Yes.
But until you actually stand in front of me and I beat you up,
girl,
and you leave and say, oh my God, she was so mean, but now she's so fabulous. Yes. Then you're Buntricia Trained. Yes. Other than that, you're always welcome to be Buntricia Inspired. I love you guys a lot.
Okay, so someone wants to know, asking for more details about what will be covered in the conference, but I think you went over that perfect.
All right, the classes that will be covered in the conference. Let me tell you what we're covering. We're covering what you're getting for gifts and prizes. I didn't cover what you're going to learn. Okay. Every single class at the conference is certified, which means you're going to get a certificate for each class. Is a certificate good to use? Yes, it is. I have people that I've trained working all over the world. I have people working in television. I have people working in movies. I have people working everywhere. I have folks that's used this certificate, and the certificate is good no matter where you go, no matter where you are. Last year at the conference, I had people from 20 different countries, from Dubai, from Nigeria, from everywhere, and they got certification, and right away they were able to go and get their pro discounts. No problem. What are we covering? My class is going to be HD, bridal, photography, and television makeup. That is in Jamaica. So also in Jamaica, we're going to be doing lash extensions and brow threading. Not lash extensions, it's called lash fusion. So it's your individual lashes, the ones that's the mink and the 100% human hair. That's what we're going to be teaching. Each class starts at 8 and it ends at 5. Every single day, because we're going to whip you into shape. Then we also have body painting, and we have body art and face painting for the Jamaica Conference. So those are 3 classes. Now every single person that attends the conference comes to every single class. Yeah. Every single class. The conference is sponsored in Jamaica by Black Cosmetics, Sharon Wint Levy from Face Forward in Kingston, Jamaica. She's the one that is sponsoring the conference, and that is all the makeup that we're going to be using at the conference in Jamaica. Now, all the classes are certified. So don't worry about which class you come to first, because you're going to get every single class by the time the conference has ended. Now, Vegas is a little bit different. With Las Vegas, we have several classes, but we only have 3 days. So you get to choose the class that you need to take. Now, in Vegas, we have a professional beginner class. So if you're new and you're green, I recommend that you register for that class. Is it going to be different from mine? Yes and no. You're still going to learn all the same things I would have taught in my advanced class, but my advanced class, I'm going to be moving a little faster. So I'm going to be doing color blocking. I'm going to be doing more detailed photography, a lot more chiseled colors, a lot more contrast, light highlights, and then real deep lowlights. So then it's going to be moving a little bit faster. So if you think that you're ready for my class, by all means, register for that. You also can register for the brow threading lash extension class. There is body art, and there's face painting. There's also airbrushing and television makeup. Maria Moore, she works with about 6 different networks: Showtime, MTV. She worked for Cinemax. She worked for all of them. VH1. Maria Moore is going to be the one that is going to be teaching the airbrush. Now, this is what I want you guys to understand. At my conference, everybody that's teaching you are master educators. These are people who, this is what they do. This is not what they read about. This is not what they were told about. This is what they do. So when you come, be ready to learn. What do you bring? Yourself.
Yes. That's it.
Bring you, and if you have your own special little notebook, by all means, bring that, and bring a pen. Come ready to learn. Why don't we ask you to bring products to the conference? Because this conference is about skill. It's about not only teaching you the skill, it's to make sure that all the things that you are using are the proper things. So when we teach you something, we want you to be able to duplicate it right away. You can only duplicate it with the right products. So I know most of you have a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. By all means, keep it. You can bring your brushes if you're so inclined, but we also have brushes for you to use. But if you want to bring your own brushes, you're more comfortable with them, by all means, bring your brushes. But don't bring any makeup. Don't bring nothing there but you. Come, be open, be ready to learn, and we will have a fabulous time. So that's what you do.
No battery.
Anything else? Batteries are low.
Batteries are low.
So guys.
Oh, the numbers. The numbers to call.
The numbers to call. My phone number is, I gotta put on my glasses. My number is area code 954-871-4086. That's 954-871-4086. It's a Florida number, but I live in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Then we have a second number, which is 954-501-2830. That's 954-501-2830. That's Sharon Wynn's foreign number. Right. And then now we need the local numbers. What is your local number, Simone?
My local, it's 816. So Auntie Sharon's local number is 816-1875. But it's local. Okay, so 876-816-1875. So that's Auntie Sharon's number. So that's the local number. So we have 2 foreign numbers, and then we have 1 local number. Yeah.
And then we have another local number.
And that's Auntie Sharon's
just one.
Phone.
And then we have another local number from my phone that I have. Sharon, what's that number?
816-1875.
No, the other number, 330.
335-6696.
Okay, 335.
6696.
That's 335-6696. That's the other local number. So you can call any one of those 4 numbers, mm-hmm. and you can register today. Right. The deposit for today is 10,000 Jamaican dollars
or 100
US. That's mm-hmm. your deposit, and actually has to be in US because my thing takes in US.
the link lyrictressa.com/special offer. If you go to that link, then you instantly get $100 off both conferences. So we'll give you a special discount, and we're having the makeup competition. We're giving away money, airbrush machines. You're already being certified. We have numbers you can call us from, so nobody can say Lyric, oh do I? Lyric, oh do I? Because we gave you 4 numbers. We even give you guys a link. The worker said, call me. We're covering all the bases. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today. It was
awesome.
I'm still learning. You see, that's the thing with Auntie Trisha. A master educator leaves you inspired and wanting more, because it doesn't stop here for me. Because as I've said before, my passion was dying out. I've turned down a lot of jobs because I just didn't feel it. And for me personally, if I don't feel it, I cannot give 100%. But after meeting Auntie Trisha, I believe a week ago, a couple of days ago, yeah, when I say flame and burning, that is what I am, in a very, very good way. So I am so excited about the conference. I'm finally going to be certified. I don't want to say properly, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm going to learn things I was never taught. I was never taught. So yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Well, really, just to wrap things up, that's normally what it is for everyone. So if you're in a place where you've been doing makeup a long time and you're seeing stuff that you haven't seen before, you're not alone.
Yeah.
It happens everywhere. So come and join us. My motto is, I have to leave you. You have to leave me better than you came. So pretty much that's all I want to do. So guys,
phones are ringing off.
Phones are ringing. So I gotta go. We'll talk later. So we have 3 hours to get in order to get into the raffle. I wish to see you guys at the conference. Peace. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.